Sweet, lovely Libras, this is your horoscope for April 2025. In April will be sort of your mind is on love and relationships, kind of. But April will not be the month to start anything new, initiate anything new. And in general, if you're going to meet someone new in April, try to wait as long as you can and assess that person more with rational mind, because these planets are still retrograding first half of April, and Mercury and Venus, your ruler planet of love and relationships. So when those planets will go direct, you might realize some new facts, some new face of that person that you met during retrograde, if you're gonna meet, if that is your situation. Now, April 7th, we have Mercury going direct in your house of work. And then a week after, April 13, Venus will go direct your ruler in the same spot, at the same spot, same part of your chart in your house of work, my dear Libras. Now, I made a whole separate videos and Mercury about Mercury retrograde and about Venus retrograde. If you haven't checked those, check on my channel for more details. But I'd like to say here briefly that these two planets, universe is trying to tell you something through these two planets, like emphasizing that part of your chart to deal with. Now, for some of you, it's about work, some work project, like you need to finish some project, or you might let's say go back in first half of April to work with those collaborators or someone who you worked before, or even previous job place. You might get contacted, or you might yourself contact, and to finish up maybe some paperwork, to finish up some things there. Now, for some of you, it's health wise, like to completely, some of you guys might go back to gym, or go back doing some things related to your physical well-being, mental well-being, let's say, because sixth house is about our health, and you might go to check up some things. Now, first half of April will be perfect time for you to do those things, to check up, to make some analysis if something bothers you. Now, sixth house is also house of those people who work for us, like nannies, for example, or your assistant. Now, those people might be changing during this time, while these two planets will be retrograding in your sixth house, my dear Libras. Or also, it's in general about routine, like regime, schedule that we have. And in general, you first half of April, you might want to stick to the schedule and routine that you had before, and it will be more beneficial for you if you will stick to that one. Now, April 13th, we have full moon in your first house. Now, full moons are about culmination, or they are putting some spotlight. The universe is trying to emphasize something through full moon sometimes. Those of you who are born 16th of October, plus or minus 5 days, you will be affected the most. Plus, it's hitting your 23 degrees. If you have any placement there, you will feel the most this full moon. Now, this full moon will be sweet and sort of sour, sugar and salt. And in general, whole April, universe will be speaking in riddles to us. It will be mixed one, and this full moon also one of a kind, sort of mixed one. This full moon will receive harsh beam from Mars, and Mars, such an action planet, which is transiting your 10th house already since the beginning of this year, fueling your desire, hunger for more, especially in terms of career, in terms of career aspirations, who you want to be, or how you want people to see you, to shining about your reputation, about your influence, and plus social status. Because Mars rules your seventh house, like marriage house, and that those topics were at its best. Since the beginning of this year, you've been on that page where you're thinking quite a lot and doing quite a lot around your social status, social reputation, and career aspirations, plus um, marriage, maybe, or your singlehood, parenthood, whatever the social labels we have. Now, full moon will receive harsh beam from Mars, so seems like something might come to an end. Like for some of you guys, you might finish some contract, like for example, job contract, or you might finish some big project finally at your work, not necessarily quitting the job. Or it might be about your social status. Some of you guys might decide here to get divorced, because 10 house is about social status, like marriage, to end your marriage, because this marriage doesn't hold for you any value anymore, for example. Or something might change there related to your maybe singlehood. For example, you are in a long-term relationship, and this full moon might bring marriage too. Like in terms of proposal, this will be logical culmination to that long journey of being together. So this will be a new social status, being engaged, for example. So all depends on your natal chart, my dear Libras. Now, sweet part of this full moon, Venus, your ruler, will be in your sixth house, conjunct Saturn and Mercury together, blending the energies together. This trio, they will be in your house of work and well-being, and they will receive amazing beams from Uranus, surprise planet, from your financial house. Now, you might actually receive some boost related to your work, related to what you do and your assignments, like in terms of bonus, for example, or also maybe some appreciation. Or you might get great news around your health and well being if that is your topic. If there was something bugging you, then you might receive great news, like from checkup analysis, let's say, results. And Mars will be here a bit mischievous, because Mars, also lover of Venus, will send amazing trine. That is a very supportive aspect to its lover through your ruler plus ruler of this full moon from your 10th house. So you see, it's sort of mixed. Mars is sending harsh beam to that full moon, but at the same time sending support to the ruler of the full moon. So seems like whatever will be finishing for you right now, my dear Libras, in April, you will be pretty content about it. Sort of will be in peace, and you might want to finish it, and you will feel the logic behind it. Plus, you will be okay with whatever will be culminating there. Venus will give you that support, that whatever will be happening is happening for a reason. And that's how it should go. And you will feel quite at ease around this time. Now, in general, when full moons happen in our first house, all our other parts of life are affected. So, for some of you, it might be related to your father also, because Mars is in your father's house. So if it's not your life, then something is happening in his life, like he's moving out, I don't know, or maybe um, going to travel around the world, let's say. Something, some announcement might be, or maybe he's getting divorced or he's getting married. Something will be happening here, either through your career, either through your father, could be, or your social status. Something is finishing, so sort of starting new life, my dear Libras. April 17 will be huge. We have Mercury conjunct Neptune in your house of marriage for the first time ever since 150 years. Now, these two, they met in your seventh house back in 19th century. So we never experienced this vibration in our lifetime. Now, this will be amazing time for you. Plus, it's in your marriage house, my dear Libras. Now, Mercury rules your foreign lands, like far lands, and Neptune rules your house of daily activities and daily work. And it's meeting in your house of deals, signing committed partnerships, let's say, in love and in business. So for you, for some of you, it might mean meeting someone special, meeting that you're one and only, or getting married, getting proposed to get married. Or for some of you, it might be related some business deal that will change your life direction forever. That deal will come with relocation package. Seems like you might need to travel somewhere, you might need to relocate yourself somewhere because of your job assignment, or maybe this job will have this sort of all the time sort of business travel mode, let's say 50-50, to like half year working there, half year working here, or it might be online also work. And this work will might be related to some art, some, I don't know, modeling, creativity part, because Neptune is about creativity, and it's happening in your seventh house of deals. Now, amazing one. Use this time to forge some agreement. For example, if you wanted to do that around this April 17th. April 18th, we have Mars. And by the way, about this Mercury conjunct Neptune, it might be something happening in your husband or wife or your long term sweetheart's life also. If it's not yours, then it's them who will get this big chance to, I don't know, new agreement for job offer, or it might be relocation, or you might travel somewhere together with your sweetheart where you will enjoy. But that travel seems like you might travel for work actually, but then you will put in some pleasure too. April 18th, Mars finally moving into your 11th house to stay until June 17th. So for 2 months, Mars will be fueling your desire to socialize, especially meet someone new. You see, whole year this chart is speaking about relationships and love is on your mind, kind of. Now, Mars is action planet, and it's about desire, it's about drive, and it's 11th house. It's such expansive house. It's going to be expanding your social reach. Now, 11th house is about friendships. You might make some friendships in the next 2 months. Your friendship circle might widen, and in general, with whom you socialize, you might meet new people, new social groups you might become to. Like you might go back to, I don't know, book clubs or some sport clubs that you've been before, or maybe some new, for example, clubs like tennis clubs. I don't know. Because of that, your friendship zone will widen, let's say. And in the next 2 months, you will get a lot of invitation to attend some concert or some big events. For example, Mars is quite action packed, and plus 11th house is action too. So you will be quite busy socializing, my dear Libras. If that was you've been hungry, and it seems like it will fuel your this social butterfly mode. It will put it on, and for the next 2 months you might visit and see quite a lot of friends, and plus together with your sweetheart. Or maybe it might be that you're going to meet someone through your friends. Like some friends might introduce you to someone with whom you will have in whom you will have love interest. For example, my dear Libras, Mars might give you this sexual energy sort of. April 27, we have new moon, new energy in your financial house. Now, those of you who are born 30th of September, plus or minus 5 days, you will be affected the most. This new moon is hitting your 7th degree, and it's happening in financial part. Now, this new moon will be again mixed one, sweet and sour, and universe again will be giving some sort of and good news and sort of maybe some setbacks. Like new moons, it's about new energy, and this new moon, Pluto and Mars together, they will send harsh beams to that new moon, new energy. Now, Pluto is in your fifth house of joy and kids and children, and Mars is in your 11th. Now, during this new moon, actually, you might realize some things related to your newly found love interest, for example, or it might be about your business partner. If it's not about love, then it might be about your business partner with whom you're doing business. And in general, these are also, even though it's a bit stressful aspects, it might be also aspect of opportunity. You might get an opportunity here to invest into some business, and you might get an opportunity, like you might have a person who will be interested into investing into your business, for example, to building that business together, and which will bring profit in the future. So it might be both ways, depends on your natal chart. So there is a chance that there will come someone with who has money, who has influence and reputation to start a business together. And it's about inheritance. You might get inherited something here. But for some of you guys, it will be a long process. Plus, it might also involve some lawsuit. Now, and but that will sort of will depend on your natal chart, how it will turn out, whether you will be awarded that inheritance or not. But still, it might present some sort of setbacks there too. And also investments, if you are an avid investor, or some like if you have investments in crypto or any sort of financial instruments, here you might have mixed sort of news again. And also it's about scholarships and funding from banks, bank loans, and alimony. And again, here you might have some, like, let's say, requirements to fulfill, so that you will get this money from other institutions or other people. Now, sweet part of this new moon will be Venus, your ruler, plus ruler of this new moon, will conjunct Saturn in your sixth house, and both of them, they will receive amazing support from Uranus. So you see, this Uranus is about like an angel in April to support a little bit, whisper some things, because it's making some aspect which entail sort of requires some action and effort from your side, but then it's whispering the right decision. So Uranus will support this ruler, and Pluto. You see, this Pluto will be sort of mixing the situation. It's sending harsh beam to new moon, but then at the same time supporting the ruler of the new moon. So, which means there will be some sweet part of it, and with some decision you will be at the same time okay, and some parts you might not like with whatever this new moon will bring into your life, money related. And it might be related to your work. For example, you will be thankful to universe that you have an amazing job, let's say, to support whatever expense that might present itself with this new moon in your life, in your eighth house. For example, paying some taxes, or some bank loans, or something like maybe covering your kids' education, covering your kids' extra curriculum, let's say some courses, for example, something related to your kids could be, or to your business. If business in April won't be so much, let's say, profitable, you will still have your job to cover some expenses, seems like. And if you're starting a new business, again, you will be thankful to the universe that there is a funds coming from your daily work, that you still can support with whatever there you are initiating with this new moon, my dear Libras. For some of you, it will be completely about health, because a lot of your health and well-being houses are touched here. So it might be related to some checkups, some analysis, maybe going to seeing a doctor. But the new good part is that health, which is involved, it might involve your kids too. Like it might be involving well-being of your kids. Now everything will be great. No worries on that. And lastly, April 30, Venus, your ruler, moves into your seventh house. Amazing, shining time, enjoying love time. By the end of April, you might make up your mind about that person. And Venus in seventh house is always amazing. We feel attracted, we feel love, we feel affection, and all surrounding people also feel attracted to us. We feel like a star, and we will be sort of on a love mode. And Venus will be in your seventh house, blessing it for the next whole month, my dear Libras. Always check your rising sign, because that's 99% will resonate with the rising sign. Then check your moon sign. It all depends what time you were born, at night maybe, or morning. Now moon sign is very important, and also your sun sign. Check all three, because all three, they might resonate. Love you all. Bye bye.